agenda.
It's okay.
Okay, I'd like to declare the meeting open at 7:05 on Monday, March 13th on 2023 at the Narran Center Community Center. I am joining by Zoom. I'm a little bit concerned in the delay in communication, so if we can all be patient with each other. Is there any declaration of pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof? I do not have any.
Everyone's saying no.
Everyone said no, and now we have our delegation, Louisa Orford, the new La Cloche Economic Development Officer, talking about economic development for this year coming up, our profile, our projects and priorities. So, Louisa.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm very happy to join you all tonight. I'm Louise Orford, the La Cloche Foothills Economic Development Officer for the entire region. So that includes Espanola, the Township of Baldwin, the Township of Sable Spanish River, and then of course Narran as well. So just I have a very short sort of spiel to go over tonight. That's a little bit about exactly what my position is and what some of my goals are for this year and a little bit beyond. Some of it will be regional and then some of it will be specific to Narran as well. So there will just be a little bit of balance there. You might be hearing a little bit about some of the other municipalities, but I promise it kind of all goes together. So to start, like I said, I am the Economic Development Officer. And one of the things that I do love to say about my position is that the job is not about creating new businesses or jobs, but rather about creating the environment in which jobs and investment can thrive. So to that effect, my job is essentially to lead the promotion of the La Cloche Foothills municipalities, to conceptualize, develop strategies that enhance the local business community, to coordinate, supervise, and report on economic development programs, to identify and promote government programs to businesses and that would help businesses, the community or the region as a whole, to fulfill any of their project goals, and then also to act as liaison between the municipal councils and administration and the business community itself. So as a shared resource, there is a little bit of time sharing that goes on. It's about 70% for Espanola and regional projects, and then each of the other municipalities receives about 10% of my time. So that goes to about 2 full days per month. But then that's also, there's extra time in the regional projects. So anything that's going on between all 4 of the municipalities or 3 of or 2 of comes out of that 70% regional as well. So it's a little bit more than 10%, but standard is about 10%. So 2 days a month. We have chatted the administration and myself to try and outline what some priorities might be for this year and for the coming years. So I am here at least until fall of 2025. That is my position is funded by a grant from FedNor. So that goes all the way to September of 2025 at the moment. So that's sort of where some of these timelines come from. But some of the goals that we have for Narran for it was 22 into 23, and then it'll be 23 to 24. We're working on some of the online accessibility projects, making the municipal website a little bit more accessible. And that means digitally accessible to use screen readers and some of those things, as well as a little bit easier to navigate. Creating some business support programs. I've heard from the administration some things about community library access, looking at different funding opportunities, and then also having some youth initiatives. So to that extent. I think there was also some chats about community enhancements and recreation opportunities, mostly within making public spaces a little bit more accessible for an aging community, as well as any disabled members of the community, so trying to make it accessible to all. And then one of my biggest projects at the moment is that coming out of that regional time is a youth-oriented career fair that will be happening this May. It will be hosted in Espanola at the recreation complex because it is right next to one of the high schools, and then is within walking distance to the French high school. So that was why Espanola was chosen as the host location. And what originally was kind of youth oriented, it is still youth oriented, but we have decided that it would be open to any job seeker that wishes to attend. No one will be turned away. But it is going to have some career planning resources, some education opportunities, as well as employers from across the region, even into Sudbury and into Sault Ste. Marie as well. And some of them are coming from the area's key industries of forestry, mining, tourism, social services, and healthcare. So we're very excited to be working on that for May 9th. So it's
Just a question, do you have employment from Narren or employment companies from Narren?
yes, at the moment we do. I haven't publicized our employer list just yet, just as we're trying to make sure that that everyone who says they're coming is going to be able to come. We don't want to be making any promises too early, but yes, I believe there are 2 confirmed and then 1 that's thinking about it. So there could be potentially 3 businesses from Narren that will be there.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it is a little bit oriented towards career training. So there's also going to be some resources about what certifications you might need to go into some of these fields, like Common Core. Yeah. So then what we've been discussing with administration and myself as well has been a little bit of a regional tourism strategy. So again, that's not necessarily going to be Narrenheim specific. It is more of a regional approach, and it does involve the regional tourism operator in this area, which is northeasternontario.com. And it covers sort of all of the smaller municipalities from North Bay up into this region. Doesn't quite reach Elliott Lake, so it'll be sort of that region, but leaves out the city of North Bay and the city of Sudbury, those that have their own tourism entities. So we're gonna work with them a little bit and see if we can get the name Narrenheim out a little bit more, and that's going to also sort of work at helping business attraction as well. The more that the name is out there, it's a little bit easier to have people interested in setting up shop here. And my last one is the municipal service access, which also goes to the website that we talked about earlier. And then having some conversations about different municipal services that could use some extra grant funding and where we can be finding some of that. So on the topic of grants, I look at 2 different types of grants when I talk about them here. There are federal, provincial, and private grants that I look at. So there's many programs and enhancement projects that can leverage the existing municipal budget to complete projects quicker than anticipated, or at a reduced cost to the municipality, or to increase the scale of the project from what was originally could be afforded. So I kind of keep up to date with all those sorts of different programs from different common grant funders and all the open opportunities. But then there's also business grants that I talk about sometimes. So there's the 2 different types of grants there. And those are the grants that are available to business owners. And they're things like energy saving grants, or those are the biggest ones, hydro grants. Some of those different entities will put out some funding once in a while so that business owners can see some cost savings there. And I share all of those in an electronic newsletter that I do now. I send it out monthly. It's called Buzz on Business. And I think we've got about 30 or so businesses across the region that have subscribed to that. So they're all getting those opportunities sent directly to them rather than me having to go to each individual business to tell them about what's going on and what they can access. So I will just finish with a little bit on what is coming up, which I think I've kind of addressed mostly here. But again, I did do some work throughout 2022. I started just in September of 2022, so it's only been about 6 months now. But across the regions, we've had some very successful makers markets, especially at Christmas time. We've been looking at upgrading any of the municipal links to tourism things like the Waterfront Trail System and the TransCanada Trail System. They all have links that will link off to municipal websites. So I was working through making sure all of those are actually leading to the proper places, no broken links, so that no one is trying to find out more about Narrenheimen and getting lost in cyberspace because the links aren't there. There are some discussions with big events that will be happening. So there is the Youth Career Fair, and then there's also going to be a agricultural show in Massey this summer. So that is the Agri North Expo. So that should be a little bit more traffic through the region as well. Realistically, one of my biggest priorities for Narrenheimen throughout 2023 will be just increasing the investment readiness of the community and making sure that I have the resources available, that if someone is coming in with interest in the community, that we can be answering any of their queries easily and quickly and trying to help them the best that we can. So yeah, that's all about me.
Well, thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Councillor Despatie, I think you're muted. Did you have something to say? Does anyone else have any questions? Is that Councillor McDonald?
Oh, Wayne
How about
Nelson.
now?
Councillor Austin.
when I asked you about the interest here from different companies, I was just wondering if you took in the one new company that's coming into town.
We've discussed it. We're not sure if they're interested.
Yes, there have been some conversations. It will be their decision too
Yeah,
as well,
so when they
whether they
want to
are at that
participate.
point. If they are ready for that, then it will be their decision to join or not. Yes, we do have 3 bigger companies from there.
Is there anything that you would like us to do as council that could facilitate things moving forward more effectively?
That might be a question for like if I visit you a second for when I visit you a second time. I'm still trying to learn how each of the councils does operate, because I do have 4 of them that I present to once in a while. For the most part, as long as I am aware of what your priorities for the community are, then that's something that I can be working on. If there are certain priorities that you have, that certain projects that really need to be explored, if there's projects that you really want grant funding for, that's what I can be keeping an eye out for and be sending the administration those sorts of resources and working with them to complete some of those applications. So yeah, realistically, it would be just as long as I know your priorities and sort of in priority order as well, how it's being worked out here, then that should make things a little easier for me.
One thing I thought about as I read your report was that we had just previously decided on council to go visit local businesses just to start a dialogue, open up a conversation. And so I think that will really help just to see where everyone is at, and if they're looking for something else, and how we can improve. Like, things are fine with businesses in town generally speaking, but if we can make it better or improve things.
And the municipal office does have a stack of my business cards as well. All of my contact information, you have it on the report that I submitted, but it's also on the website under the business development section. So as you speak to any of the businesses, if they need my contact, there are business cards at the municipal office, or it is on the website now as well. So if there's anything they need, they can always reach out.
Okay, that's great. I really loved what you had to say, and I'm really interested in many of the different subjects you talked about. Is there anything else, or?
That's it for me, unless there's any other questions, but yeah.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much. So any discussions arising from previous minutes? Councillor McVeigh, Councillor McDonald. Councillor Despatie, any discussions arising from previous minutes?
None.
None.
All right, sorry this is so slow. It's just awkward on my laptop. I'm not a teenager. And approval of council minutes. CAO Ketchuba, do you have the motion there?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll read that for you. And then we can do you want to get a mover and a seconder, or just do you want me to read the resolution?
Let's read the resolution and then we'll see who would like to move or second.
Okay, sounds good. Resolve that the following council meetings be accepted as presented. A, regular council meeting minutes, February 13th, 2023. B, closed session meeting minutes, February 13th, 2023. And C, that should read special council meeting minutes. February 27th, 2023.
Would anyone like to move that?
Yeah, we have Councillor McVeigh putting his hand up.
Yeah, just pick.
And someone to second?
I'll second.
Okay, Eve, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so like we chatted about that when we're on electronic, that we would do all passing of resolutions through recorded vote. So did you want me
Yes.
to go around the room, or did you want to go around the room?
I think it's better for you to do it because you can hear everyone.
Okay. So Amy, for or against? Sorry.
For.
Councillor McVeigh, for or against?
For.
Councillor Austin, for or against? Councillor Despatie, for or against?
For.
And Councillor McDonald, for? Okay. Great, that's passed. So the next resolution would just be to accept the minutes and reports 6A to M as received.
All right, so let's do an open vote again. Councillor or CAO Ketchuba, if you could do that.
Can I get someone to move that?
Yes.
Wayne? Can I get a seconder, please?
I'll second.
Thank you. So resolve that the minutes of and reports items 6A to M are noted as received. So Mayor Mazie, for or against?
For.
Councillor McVeigh?
For.
Councillor Austin?
For.
Councillor Despatie?
For.
Councillor McDonald?
For.
Pass.
Can we have discussions on some of them?
Yeah, that was just to accept them as received.
Okay, so are we ready to start on 6A? That's where we are.
We are.
Okay, so this is the CAO's report about registration of tax arrear certificates on properties with arrears of 2 or more years. Are there any comments or any
Yes.
discussion?
Go ahead.
Counselor McDonald?
Yes, on the second page there, number 6 there. The tax in arrear, $123,242. Is that a business?
CAO Ketchiba, we can't identify which business
Oh,
or
not
person.
local council, no, we can't.
But it is a business, but I mean, it's not, you're not naming that.
Yeah, it's a business. And it's fairly easy to identify.
Yeah.
Uh,
I asked about number 1 on there, I'm confused
Yeah,
why
absolutely.
there's no interest on it.
Through you, Madam Mayor.
absolutely.
Hmm?
Yes, that's a very good question. The property owners had been making payments. And it always pays off the interest first. That's the way our tax system works.
Oh, I
So
see.
they've paid off all their interest to date. But they're still
Still in
in
arrears.
arrears.
Okay. It just looked funny when. I
It
looked at
did, yeah, yeah. No, I knew that question was gonna be, yeah.
Okay, are we fine to move forward with this resolution?
Yeah.
Or is there more comments? Sorry, this is so awkward. Okay, CAO Ketchiba, if you could read the resolution.
You. Reads, whereas council has received the CAO's report 2023-10 for information and resolved that council directs staff to proceed with sending out a final notice to all property owners listed in the table attached to this report, advising them of their tax arrears situation, and further that staff proceed with the registration of tax arrears certificates on properties which continue to have 2+ years of arrears on April 14th, 2023. So can we get a mover?
I'll move to accept that.
Okay, Guy. And Trevor, will you second it? Okay, so Mayor Maisy, how do you vote?
For,
Councillor McVeigh?
Or.
Okay, Councillor Austin?
Or.
Councillor Dave Hattie?
4,
Councillor McDonald?
Or.
Carried.
Sounds like we're practicing for both.
so next is the 2023 council meeting schedule. Does anyone have concerns about the existing schedule?
No, I don't.
I didn't. Counselor McVeigh,
Nope.
Counselor Austin,
No, if something comes up, we can always ask to change it.
Counselor Despatie.
none.
All right, let me find that motion.
I can read it for you if you'd like.
Okay, I had it. It was just. Well, I'll just, whereas council has received the CAO's report number 2023-11 for information and resolved that council approves the 2023 council meeting schedule as attached in this report. So we'll do it individually. I am for it. Counselor McVeigh.
Oh, we need it moved. Sorry, Madam Mayor.
Okay, sorry. So who would like to move it? So, sorry, CAO Ketchiba, you can handle that.
Councillor Austin?
I'll second it.
Okay. Okay, did you want me to continue or did you wanna go around?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, Councillor McVeigh, for or against? For. Councillor Austin?
Or.
Councillor Despatie?
4,
Okay. Councillor McDonald?
Or,
So.
Okay, that's carried.
Okay, so 6C is repurposing of the Nairn Ball Field. How do we want to proceed? Who would like to start that discussion? I think, okay,
I would.
Councillor McDonald,
After reading 7B, I think we should drop it for the ball field altogether. I can't see taking a chance spending one place that it could cost $100,000. You know, it's a big risk, I think.
oh, I think you're speaking of further in the meeting when we'll talk about putting apple trees there,
Well, that's-
but this, right, other than apple trees, generally looking at the ball field, like for instance, we could just gather the public's opinion or ideas, whether it's by flyer or on Facebook, to see what they might be interested to see at the ball field at all. We haven't been using that area very effective. We haven't had a ball field tournament or a ball tournament in years.
So we're just looking
Counselor,
for a repurposing, eh?
Yeah.
Something else to do with it.
No, I just thought that was
more.
but go ahead.
The whole thing with the ball field is I'd like to see the ball field maintained as it is for now. The whole ball field, and I'd like to see the back or number B field cleaned up and straightened up and everything, and then in the future, if something comes up, we can do something. But not let it just grow in like a forest, or keep it cleared so that it's not a big cost. The maintenance costs are very little
Not a
to maintain what's there.
Counselor
that-
McVeigh, when we talked about our 5 priorities, you spoke about the ball field a little bit. Would you like to address it?
I agree with Councillor Austin, something has to be done with the backfield to be cleaned up, but the front, I'd like to see something done with that, just so that we could. My own personal opinion is you will never see a ball game here. If you talk to anybody that puts on a ball tournament, they would never look at that field. They need more than one field. I know some people said, oh, you could have a family tournament, you could do stuff, but I don't see it happening. I'm not, I feel that I'm forward thinking and forward looking, but I don't see that happening, so. I'd like to see something done with it though, whether it be a dog park or just something, because it's such a beautiful area and can be used, and it's not being used. It's,
So this is not to decide what we're doing. This is just how do we want to begin the search for what we're going to do? How would you like CAO Ketchaba to proceed? What do we want to do first? Do you want a poster? Do you want to post on Facebook? Do you want to just have a community awareness night where we ask for ideas?
My opinion is go to option 1 and go up to the public. If they want something, let us know and we can look at it.
yeah, we could do it via Facebook or whatever, and you just we're not responding to Facebook, you've got to come in. Here's what we want to do.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the energy or the time to come in, we're not gonna rebuttal on Facebook what we're doing. We're not gonna
No,
answer
we're
your
not.
question. You're gonna come in yourself
Respond to the
and
offer.
you're gonna do it, you know, via email or in person,
Yep.
politely and respectfully, and go and.
We're
That way they
asking
will
for
have other people's
ideas.
ideas.
Okay, that's all we're doing is asking for ideas.
Yeah, but we're not gonna, we don't want 75 responses on Facebook telling us what we could do with it. We could turn it into an industrial park or something, you know what I mean? Like, you're not getting into debate, I don't think.
Is anyone
Or-
interested in doing like a community hall night or a town hall night where we, maybe on a Monday night before council, we meet at 6 and people can come in and express their ideas? Do you think we need to do that?
In my opinion, we'd be sitting here like we are now by ourselves.
I would think
I
so.
don't think so. I think that's a waste of time, my own
Yeah.
personal opinion.
Okay. Councillor McDonald, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, it's just that I like to keep maintain anyway, because that was all, that 2 ballparks were all done by volunteers. Yeah, volunteers, individually, taxpayers, the companies like the mill and all those other companies, they put a lot of money in it. It wasn't tax dollars, it was volunteer, I think if I remember right, all volunteer. And they worked hard at it.
So you would like to maintain the 2 ball fields?
Yeah, if something comes up, sure, we'll look at it, eh?
Not maintain the second one as a.
Oh, no, not as a ball field, no,
I was like.
no,
where's
not
it
as a ball
going?
field, it's open for anything now. I
Okay,
agree.
let's try to get a motion together. So are we looking at, we don't want a town hall night. We do want to reach out on Facebook. Do you want a poster for people to respond to the office to let us know what their ideas or their opinion may be about the town office or the town, about the ball field, sorry. Does that make sense?
I thought we would reach out on the town website, not on Facebook.
Yeah.
Do
Well,
you
could-
think people routinely
You
go
don't
check
have
the
to-
town
Oh, yeah.
website?
No, I don't think that. I think you're better off to use the Facebook than the town website. I
Okay.
bet you more people.
You can put it on both. It's not that difficult, but I think putting a poster in the mail is effective as well. That's a $25 charge.
I don't think that's expensive.
No.
Okay, so CAO Ketchuba, if you could help me gather these thoughts and get a motion together.
Sure. So I have one started. It
Yeah,
says,
I think if we just specifically add flyer, Facebook, town website, was there anything else?
Respond to the township office,
Yes.
Yeah.
not on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the motion. Whereas council has received the CAO's report 2023-12 for information and resolve that council directs staff to receive comments from citizens regarding options for the repurposing of Nairn Ball Field on Facebook, on a flyer, the town website, to respond to the town office. So
okay. Do we have a mover for that?
Oh,
Okay. Rod? Trevor, do you want a
I'll
second?
second
Do you want me to reread it, Madam Mayor?
I don't think so, as long as everyone else is fine with that.
Okay, so we'll do the vote. Mayor Maisy, for or against?
4,
Councillor McVeigh?
it. 4.
Councillor Austin?
Or
Councillor Dave Patti?
Four.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
he's up in the corner there.
Oh, we lost you there for a second. Just hold on.
I thought he was gone.
Yeah.
Okay. And Councillor
Wishful
McDonald?
thinking.
Well, don't worry, we got a wire to pull here, if we want to get rid of you.
okay, are we good to move on?
Yep.
Okay, so the next we have is an update on appeals regarding zoning bylaw amendment, but with the Agnew Lake property group subdivision. Do we need to do anything for the CAO Ketchuba?
Just to receive it as information.
Okay. So be it resolved that council receive the CAO's report 2023-13 for information. I guess we need a mover and a seconder.
Okay, Wayne? Guy, will you second that?
Sure.
Thank you. Did you want to proceed, Madam Mayor?
Yeah, sorry, I know, so awkward. Next we,
Okay, you just have to do the vote, that's all.
oh, the vote, okay, yes. So
Mayor Maisy, for or
I'm
against?
for,
Councillor McVeigh,
4.
Councillor Austin,
Or
Councillor Dave Patti,
Four.
Councillor McDonald,
Or,
perfect, carry on.
okay, so next we have the Planning Economic Development and Public Works Committee minutes. Be it resolved that council accepts the Planning Economic Development and Public Works Committee minutes dated February 13th, 2023 as presented. Do we have a mover
Trevor?
and a seconder?
Yes.
Wayne? Okay, are we ready for a vote?
Yep, I'm for.
Counselor McVeigh, Counselor Austin, Counselor Despatie,
four,
Counselor McDonald? Okay, that's carried.
Okay, so the next thing, be it resolved that council accepts the Community Parks and Recreation Committee meeting minutes dated February 14th, 2023 as presented. Who would like to move it second?
I'll move.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not sleeping.
Sorry, who's moving it?
It's easier. He said.
Yeah, okay.
Councilor Despatie.
Yeah, just pick two. I mean,
Just say our names out and we'll see.
Rod?
four.
4. Okay, Mayor Macy, did you wanna vote for or against?
For.
Counselor McVeigh?
Four.
Counselor Austin?
Four.
Counselor Despatie?
Four,
Counselor McDonald?
Four.
Thank you, that's carried.
All right, so the next, be it resolved that council accepts the following La Cloche Foothills Municipal Association meeting minutes as presented. A, regular meeting minutes, March 28th, 2022. And B, special meeting minutes, April 12th, 2022. Who would like to move and second that?
Okay.
Okay, Wayne?
Yeah.
Trevor?
Yeah.
That's way back.
Mayor Macy, for or against?
For.
Counselor McVeigh?
Four.
Counselor Austin?
Four.
Counselor Despatie?
four,
Counselor McDonald?
Four.
Carried.
Did anyone want to discuss the work order summary report for water at all?
No, not me.
Not me.
Excellent. Be it resolved that council accepts the following items from the Water Ontario Clean Water Agency as presented. A, work order summary report, January 2023. B, work order summary report, February 2023. C, 2022 annual and summary reports for the Nairn Center water system. Who would like to move and second?
I'll move.
Okay, Guy, Rod, will you second it?
Yes.
Okay, Mayor Macy, for or against?
For.
Four.
Counselor McVeigh?
Four.
Counselor Austin, Counselor Despatie,
Four,
Counselor McDonald?
Four.
Okay, that's carried.
Okay, would anyone like to discuss the municipal superintendent's report to council at all?
Yes, I would like to.
Counselor McDonald?
Yeah, a few months ago, the council asked for a report for that truck that they're having all the problems with. I think that we still should get a report on that truck because it's been broke down so many times. I like to see what's all been done to that truck. We spend a lot of money on it, so. And it was a resolution that the council put on the table to have a report, and I haven't saw one yet. I like to see the report of that plow truck. From the time
CAO
they had-
Ketchiba? Oh, sorry, CAO Ketchiba, can you speak to that?
Yeah, through you, Madam Mayor, my apologies, I completely forgot about that report, so. Now that you say it piqued my memory, but we can work on that for the next meeting, I apologize.
Would anyone else like to discuss anything about the superintendent's report? All right. Just be it resolved that council accepts the municipal superintendent's report to council dated March 7th, 2023 as presented. Who would like to first and second?
Wayne?
Yep.
Trevor?
Yep.
Okay, for vote, Mayor Macy, for or against?
For.
Counselor McVeigh?
Four.
Counselor Austin?
Four.
Counselor Despatie? Oh, we lost him.
Did you hear you?
He's muted. Oh, there he
Four.
is. Counselor McDonald,
Or,
good, that's carried.
Okay, does anyone want to discuss the fire chief's report to council?
Well, I'd like to say, it's good to see we've got some new recruits coming on board. Definitely nice to see that. The one in Station 1 and one in Station 2.
I would like
Any
to
oth-
just. I would
Counselor
just like to
McDonald?
Fire chief, he's doing an excellent job. He keeps us up to date and everything that's going on in that fire hall. And that's the way it should be.
All right, be it resolved that council accepts the fire chief's report to council dated March 7th, 2023 as presented, and further that council accepts the applications from Noel LaRue and Robert Collins to join the Township of Narren and Hyman's Fire Department as volunteer firefighters pending the receipt of the required medicals. Who would like to move and second?
Rod,
Yeah,
Guy, would you like to second?
Sure.
And for vote, Mayor Maisy for.
For.
against? Counselor McVeigh,
Four.
Counselor Austin,
Or,
Counselor Diepati,
Four.
Counselor McDonald.
or,
Okay, that's carried.
Our next motion is be it resolved that correspondences 7A to C are noted as received. Who would like to first and second that?
Trevor? Wayne? Okay, for the vote, Mayor Maisy for or against,
For.
Counselor McVeigh,
Four.
Counselor Austin,
or,
Counselor Diepati,
Four.
Counselor McDonald.
or,
Okay, that's carried.
Okay, so next we have information from JL Richards, who are our I don't know the right words, but they have basically changed the fees that they will be charging us. Does anyone want to discuss it at all?
well, we don't have much choice other than put it out for.
CAO Ketchuba, what is your experience? Are there other companies that we could turn to or?
Yes, there is other companies. The benefit of dealing with JL Richards is they have a local office. And they work with all our neighboring municipalities, so we all share similar issues, planning needs. So when the planners are working for the La Cloche area, generally, you're getting a lot of experience and knowledge when you're dealing with their planners.
So your recommendation would be to accept the updated rates and.
Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of choice. We're gonna be charged them regardless if we say no or not, so.
Yeah. So here's the motion. Be it resolved that the correspondence 7A received from Sarah Verreau, JL Richards and Associates regarding the updated rates, terms and conditions for planning advisory services is accepted as presented, and further that council directs that bylaw number 2023-10 to be enacted by giving it 3 readings at the council meeting of March 13th, 2023 to accept the updated fees associated with the processing of applications made in respect to planning matters. Who would like to move and second that?
Wayne?
Second.
Okay, Trevor. Okay, for the vote, if you're ready, Madam Mayor.
I'm
or
for.
against? Counselor McVeigh,
Four.
Counselor Austin,
or,
Counselor Diepati,
I'm for.
okay, Counselor McDonald.
For.
Okay, that's carried.
I do have a question though.
Yes, Councillor Diepati, sorry.
I was just wondering, if we're all being charged, by JL Richard, are we as a group, trying to find a better price? As far as engineering, issues are?
Madam Chair. Yeah, a few years ago, we put it up for tender. And we choose them. There was I think there was about three of them, put their name on it. And they're the one we picked.
Okay,
I would say gotta be 6 or 7 years ago anyway. Or maybe
so,
longer.
do we have a firm, do we have a contract with them for a term of years, or are we just, doing it year by year and accepting the increases?
We're doing it year by year and accepting the increases.
Is it time maybe to start shopping again?
I think, didn't we just discuss that when the CEO said, that like we have to kind of go as a coalition or as a group? And all the surrounding municipalities is using the same firm, so we don't want to get out of that group. I'm just saying what I.
No, but that's my question, Councillor McVeigh. Are we as a group, ready to start shopping again? Because I know, personally, as, for automobile insurance, for example, I shop about every 3 years because I find, after 3 years, they start taking advantage of you and just increase. So I'm wondering if, it's a similar situation as far as engineering costs. And should we, as a group, start shopping again, or put out for tender, as a group for the next couple of years?
As I understand it too, JL Richards, the costs that are charged to us generally are covered by residents coming to us. Am I wrong, CAO Ketchuba?
No, you're not wrong. You're correct. All revenue generated from applications would be applied against our expenses. So, the fees that the township would pay out, of taxpayer dollars would just be the annual fee to be there as advisors for us. So that's the $2,500 fee at the top. The rest of the, application fees would be covered. They would be covered when an application is submitted. The applicants would pay the township.
I see. All right.
So are we fine to move forward with this motion? Be it resolved that correspondence 7B received from, oh, no, sorry, I was on the wrong. Be it resolved that correspondence 7A received from Sarah Verow, JL Richards and Associates regarding the updated rates, terms and conditions for planning advisory series is accepted as presented, and further that council directs that bylaw number 2023-10 is to be enacted by giving it 3 readings at the council meeting on March 13th, 2023 to accept the updated fees associated with the processing of applications made in respect to planning matters. So did we have a mover and a seconder?
We already passed that resolution.
Just had a discussion on it after the motion.
Sorry, we
Okay.
just started discussing it afterwards.
I didn't think we actually completed the voting. So, okay, so that's all finished anyway. So next that we have up for discussion is the correspondence from Denis Lamontagne of RV Anderson Associates, which basically said to do the necessary testing for the Nairn ball field to have apple trees there would be up to a cost of $100,000. So, yeah, I don't think, maybe I'm being presumptuous. I don't think any of we may all like the apple tree idea, but not $100,000 worth.
Oh, geez.
And I think it's just too much of a risk to plant something in that area. I'm hoping that we can find another area where we could plant them. But I don't think we want to pay $100,000 for testing. Does anyone else have any other comments?
Well, I do. And $100,000 is totally out of the question. Look, it's a nice idea, and I may have a solution for it. But No, I'm against, spending $100,000.
Counselor McDonald,
I agree with them. I don't think we should, take the risk.
right. Counselor McVeigh,
I agree with Councillor Deputy and the rest of council. I think that we can't take the chance.
no. Counselor Austin, you as well?
We've had lots of discussion on this and every place we want to put it, it seems to be a problem. I thought we had a couple of good ideas, but they're just turned down and we can't go with $100,000 policy, so.
No, so the ball field, I think we're all agree is not gonna work for apple trees. So I guess basically the question is, where do we go from here for the apple trees?
Madam Mayor, if I may?
Absolutely, Counselor Despatie.
This is, I'm in the process of purchasing, a property. Unfortunately, it's just outside of, the town of Nairn. Actually, it's right on the line, on the city of Sudbury side. Once that property is, purchased by me, I can plant the trees there and I can maintain them. And I can have possibly a fall fair and invite all the think of.
There is.
Okay, we lost you there for a second,
We lost you.
sorry.
No.
That's not. Well, while we wait.
What do you
Why-
think of that idea?
I don't know how that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it except that it's actually not in Nairn Center.
In Nairn Center, I know. Yeah.
But, it's gonna be a few years till you have apples. What about planting near the rink? Or even putting a couple in front of the Nairn Community Center? Oh, do we have?
Yeah, look, we can split them up. Absolutely. I've got no issues with that. Yeah.
So Nairn and Hyman, are you back? I can see them moving.
I can't see them. The only thing I can see is you.
Yeah, I can see Belinda moving in front of it. Hello? Yeah,
Okay,
we
I
can,
think we're back.
yeah,
There, we're back.
you know, Counselor Despatie and I could speak to each other.
Well, 'cause you were
So
on
we can
Zoom,
hear you,
the
we
owl
just-
was out.
We
Oh.
could hear you.
Well, I'm glad we didn't say anything bad.
The owl
Um,
took a coffee break.
So then you must have heard the idea of Counselor Despatie's, right? To put having a fall fair basically on his property that is actually in the Sudbury, greater city of Sudbury. Also, I mentioned we could plant a few trees in front. Oh, sorry, Counselor McDonald, you look like you're about to say something.
I looked at me. No, I just, you go along with with the Councillor Apache, but, it's when we're dealing with the public, you know, you're dealing with apples and that, I just soon, not have it in town. You want to plant trees, fine, but not apple trees.
Right, yeah, so the other idea was, you know, we could put a few in front of the community hall or by the rink. Counselor McVeigh, what do you think about some of those options?
I'm not objective to those. What I was thinking was, for now, because I think we have to get, they're in your property right now, right, Guy?
Yes, I'm holding them at this time, yes.
Oh, till we find a spot, they're good there, or they're good at your new, at their new home. Correct?
Well, I'm not sure how long they'll last in the bucket. They may last another year. I'm not 100% sure, but and they can be planted any time of the year. It's no big deal.
Like, I don't have an issue with the apple trees at all. I have neighbors that have just planted 5 of them and or 6 of them, and nobody said a word. It's, you know, the whole world did not collapse when my neighbors did that. Counselor Austin didn't lose his mind. I didn't lose my mind. Like, we just have to find the proper spot for them and do it.
No, I agree, they're beautiful trees, I got one in my yard.
Yeah.
But there's a bear there every year, and
Yeah.
the neighbor's got a tree, and the bears are there every year.
Yeah.
And where the kids catch the bus, the bears right over. One time my grandson was standing there and the bear was 50 feet away from him.
But I could.
So if we spread them out, all through town, then the bear will have a nice choice.
They have a nice choice to kids too. No, I just looking at, that's what my point looking at it. Attract the bears, I was even thinking of cutting my tree down, but my neighbor's got one there too, so they're beautiful trees, don't get me wrong. When they blossom in the spring there, oh my God, beautiful, and they attract birds and everything else. That's the
Yeah, I
reason
mean,
why-
the other thing is, we have community gardens beside the rink. Really, that technically is an attractant for bears. We didn't have any bears coming, but we already have community gardens there. That hasn't been an issue. Counselor Austin?
Oh, how do I put it? I thank Mr. DePatie for his offer here, but it has caused us so much conflict within the town. Everything we want to do, somebody's complaining about it. And his suggestion to plant them on his property would probably be the best thing for now.
I agree.
I would thank him for doing that.
I'll second
Well,
that motion.
what was that, Counselor DePatie?
I'll second that motion.
So there we go. I'll
Okay,
make the motion.
okay,
Mr.
so be it resolved that correspondence 7B received from Denis Lamontagne of RV Anderson Associates regarding the ball field is accepted as presented, and further that council directs that the donated apple trees be planted on Councillor DePatie's property. Who would like to move and second that?
I'll second it.
And again, I'd like to thank Mr. DePatie for that offer, but we just can't seem to get anywhere with it.
Oh geez.
Okay, sorry, I was just writing that down.
We're all silent, Keith.
So are we ready to move with the vote, Madam Mayor?
Yes,
Okay, so Mayor Maisy, for or against?
I'm against.
Okay, Councillor McVeigh,
I'm against.
Councillor Austin,
Or, but which one are we voting on? Here we go.
Yeah, read the motion again there.
sorry, okay, I can do that. Be it
Yeah.
resolved that the correspondence 7B received from
Oh,
Dennis Lamontagne of RV Anderson Associates regarding the Narren ball field is accepted as presented. And further that council directs the donated trees will be planted on Mr. DePatie's property.
I misunderstood that, sorry.
Okay.
I thought we were going with $100,000. And I was like, why is Counselor Austin looking at me like I'm crazy?
So we're just accepting. the-
We're both-
Well, let's spend his money then.
Did you want to change your vote?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm like, We're gonna take it out of his
Okay.
bank account.
Counselor DePatie,
Yes, I'm against spending the 100,000 and, for, planting them on my property.
all right, and Counselor McDonald?
Yes.
And we should make it clear to anyone who hasn't been following our meetings that the trees were originally to be donated by Counselor
Yeah.
DePatie, so there's no
It
issue.
belongs to the town.
No, yeah,
Okay, so the next correspondence in 7C was received from Espanola High School asking if we would like to donate money for a bursary for a graduate. That's where most of our students attend high school, not all of them, but a high degree of them. Does anyone have any interest in giving a monetary, oh, like it would be the town money, a donation for an award? For
Yeah,
high
I'm
school.
for that.
Counselor McDonald, you support that idea? How much would you think is appropriate?
I don't know, did we do that in the past? I can't remember.
we discussed it last year and Council of the Day turned it down.
Counselor,
But like the last council
Yeah.
turned it down.
well, we would turn it down too. isn't it?
Well, I don't think so. I think it's a good thing. We've got lots of young people in the community that go there to school.
Oh, yeah.
We want to thank them for their time they put into the education system. We want them to prosper. I don't think we want them kicking around here doing nothing. If we can give, the ones that do a little kick in the pants, a little help, whether it be $500 or I think when I was there prior COVID for my kids, it seemed like Salvo Spanish River and the other ones have given around between $200 and $500. It's kind of what I'd seen as a bursary. If memory serves me correct, that's 4 years ago. So through COVID, there was no real graduations but I do think we should do something we've got a small group of kids or teenagers, and when they graduate, we should be able to help them out a little bit.
I wonder if
well,
we
but-
can dictate that it should go to an Aaron Hyman resident.
Does,
You can, yeah.
it does, because I remember Salvo Spanish River and Baldwin did theirs to a Baldwin resident.
That would make sense. So, Counselor Austin, do you have any thoughts?
Yes, I'm in favor of it. It's just, if you say, what amount do we give? That's what makes the difference. When you-
Yeah, Counselor Despatie, any thoughts from you?
Yes, well, I've got some experience with this. My children, when my children were in high school, actually after they finished high school, I opened a bursary. And mine at the time was for $250 for, it was a much bigger high school. It was for people that came in second. Because I always thought or found that whoever came in first, as far as grades, got all the money. So I offered the grant to people that came in second.
That's right.
So-
We can decide the amount of money, but we can also say, like, you could say the top or third highest science student. There's
yeah,
a lot of different ways. I
Yeah.
think it would be nice if it went to a resident of Nairn and Hyman. Are we all
agree.
pretty much agreed to on $500? Does that seem reasonable?
I have one more question, if I can
Okay,
bring it up. We have 2 high schools in Espanola. We
Yeah.
want to remember that.
Yeah, but this was the only one that approached us
Right now,
right now. So we look at that when if we get approached. Maybe we don't have any French kids going to school there. I
I
don't know.
don't know.
That's the other thing you want to look at is I remember
If
when.
we
I was there.
donate to one, and don't donate to the other.
Yeah, if they don't come to us, we can't.
Yeah. No, but they can next meeting.
Yeah,
Once they find out we donated.
yeah, well, I think, I'd be surprised if the other municipalities don't donate to both. If they, or one, whoever comes to them, right?
I think
Because I
for
do
this
remember
year,
that from 2019.
for this year, we do the one donation. If the other approaches, it's like,
Well, or we look and see.
Yeah.
It's good to see how many kids are going to there from the school, right? Or like,
Yeah,
that's the other question is, what if we have nobody from the town of Nairn? graduating in 2023, for argument's sake. What do we do with our bursary?
It could just wait till the following year.
Okay, well, we stipulate that it's gotta be somebody from the town of Narren. It's just a question I had, right? Cause what if?
Yeah.
Should we make it, for the highest average? For the, a resident of Narren and Hyman, the highest graduating, mark average graduating or a resident from Narren and Hyman. Does that seem reasonable?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, so be it resolved that correspondence 7C received from the Espanola High School regarding the request for a bursary donation is accepted as presented, and further that council directs that the bursary be for a graduating resident of Narren and Hyman Township that receives the top academic average of all of their courses. So we'll need a first, oh, to the amount of $500, if everyone has agreed on that.
I'm okay.
So we need a firster and a seconder.
I'll first it.
I'll second.
Okay, are we ready to vote?
Has anyone looked at the questionnaire on the back
Yeah, I was just looking at it now.
that comes with this request?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I somehow missed that actually.
so it's asking, can the contribution be divided between more than one student as well?
but we said in our motion it was gonna be the.
The highest, so that'd be
not
no.
Kind of answered that question.
Yeah, you're right.
If it's too high, then- I mean,
That's not gonna happen very often.
well, no.
Especially, we're gonna have, like with our small group of kids, we're gonna be lucky to have one graduate every year.
And would we stipulate proceeding on to higher education? Is that something we wanna look at?
Well,
or no?
that's the other thing. If they're not going back to continuing in school, what are we giving a bursary for?
Yeah, right.
For all their hard
Well-
work, if they got the top mark, they must have hustled.
And
can't
I
imagine-
would suggest, Madam Mayor, I would suggest that, if they got the highest grade, they probably have plans to continue their education.
Concur.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and move
Yeah.
Think everyone's in agreement, Mayor Macy?
it. Yes. Or,
Okay, I think I've already read it. So if we have a firster and seconder,
We already do, we're just ready to vote.
okay, I'm for
Sounds
it.
Counselor McVeigh,
I'm for it.
Counselor
For.
Austin, Counselor Day-Paty,
I am.
Counselor McDonald.
For.
Okay, that's carried.
Okay, the next motion is about the rate of interest on tax arrears, and CAO Ketchabah, if you could speak to this for a second.
Through you, Madam Chair. This is a bylaw that we pass every year. The rate of interest that we charge on tax arrears hasn't changed. Normally, this is passed, in one of the first two meetings. Unfortunately, it was prepared and it, my mistake missed being put on the agenda. So this bylaw and the next bylaw are both those types of bylaws. So we pass them every year. Just unfortunately, I forgot to put them on the agenda of the last meeting, so. So yeah, they're not out of the ordinary bylaws.
Does anyone want to discuss it, or this seems like a routine thing to me? Counselor Austin,
no discussion.
Discussion.
no?
No questions here.
Yep, okay, be it resolved that being a bylaw to charge a rate of interest on tax arrears be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed in open council, and its number shall be 2023-8. Who would like to first and second?
I'll first it.
Okay, Trevor. Would like to second, Rod? Okay, for the vote, Mayor Maisy for or against,
For,
McVeigh,
For.
Counselor Austin,
Or,
Counselor Dave Paty,
For,
Counselor McDonald.
For.
Okay, that's carried.
okay, so I think we've had a little explanation about the next resolution already. Be it resolved that being a bylaw to provide an interim tax levy to provide for the payment of taxes and to provide for penalty and interest of 15% per annum, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed in open council, and its number shall be 2023-9. Who would like to first and second?
Okay, Wayne.
I'll second.
David, okay, thanks. Okay, so for the vote, Mayor Maisy for or against,
For,
Counselor McVeigh,
or.
Counselor Austin, Counselor Dave Paty,
For,
and Counselor McDonald.
For.
Okay, that was a unanimous carry.
okay, so the next thing in 9C is a bylaw to establish a tariff of fees for the processing of applications for planning matters. Anyone want to discuss the details of that? Counselor Dave Paty, anything from you?
no comment, no.
Okay, Counselor Austin,
Do we have set fees or?
Yeah, they're on Schedule A.
Oh, don't, okay. Good. No, no comment.
No, none
No
here.
question.
Counselor McVeigh.
No questions.
Okay, be it resolved that being a bylaw to establish a tariff of fees for the processing of applications made in respect of planning matters within the township of Narren and Hyman be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed in open council, and its number shall be 2023-10. Who would like to move and second that?
Wayne,
No,
Nobody's moving.
I'll think.
okay,
Sorry, I was reading.
so for the vote, Mayor Maisy for or against,
For,
McVeigh,
For.
Counselor Austin,
Or,
Counselor Dave Paty,
For,
Counselor McDonald,
For.
carried.
all right, so the next resolution being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council of the corporation of the township of Narren and Hyman be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed in open council, and its number shall be 2023-11. Who would like to move and second?
I'll move.
Okay, thank you, Trevor. Okay, Mayor Maisy for or against,
For,
McVeigh,
For.
Counselor Austin,
or,
Counselor Dave Paty,
For,
Counselor McDonald,
For.
okay, that's carried.
okay, you guys are gonna want me to go out of town all the time. Be it resolved that the meeting of March 13th, 2023 do now adjourn at 8:18 p.m. to meet again on the 17th day of April 2023 or at the call of the mayor. Who would like to move and second that?
I'll move it.
Okay,
Second.
Thank you, Wayne. On to the vote, Mayor Maisy for or against.
For,
McVeigh,
For.
Counselor Austin,
or,
Counselor Dave Paty,
For,
Counselor McDonald.
For.
Okay, that's carried.